Alright, so today we're taking a look at Armored Warfare within Iron Front Liberation 1944. So let's get started and start this scenario where we command a platoon of King Tigers, and our objectives are to advance and take the village set over here, and more importantly the Russian supply dump there. So let's actually jump into the mission, and we are inside the lead commanding tank of the platoon, so we get to see some troop squad commands as well. So right now we're in the commander's seat, so I can give my AI the order to actually target this tank, and with the left mouse button I can order them to fire on these vehicles. I can also spam the button if I really want to do, but I'm not. Let's pick another target and fire. So now the AI right now is actually doing all that for us. If we were doing like a more tricky or intricate shot, we would actually be able to hop down into that seat and do it by ourselves. Over here with this menu, we can also load different types of rounds to the commander's discretion, of course. So now as soon as this box turns, well, the circle reticle turns full, we can fire once again, and you can notice that the color on the side of T-34's designation changes from red to white, which means that we have engaged the tank, we have hit it, we have done damage to it. However, we do not know if the tank is actually still alive or the crewman is still alive. Let's aim at one of these. Actually, I'll take command of the gun, and we can still command the tank right now. We can zoom in, magnify, and because ballistics are simulated this game, I'll have to key in the range of that tank to compensate for bullet drop, and now we can ding it a few more times. It actually looks like we set this tank on fire, so eventually the crew will bail, and I'll talk more about damage later, or how damage is applied to the tanks. And let's see if there are any more targets around here. Looks like this tank hasn't been fully destroyed, so we're gonna have to try to make the crew in this tank bail out. Now some of you may have noticed this is on the Arma 2 engine. That being said, it provides the same gorgeous looks, the amount of complexity under the hood, and the same, well, actually a refinement on the AI in Iron Front Liberation, just so that it suits the World War II feel of it. Now as you can see here, the unit models, these King Tigers are done, they're just a very high res, and as we move up this hill you can see that we are flattening the terrain underneath us, and things like these really help add to the battle in large scale matches where say if you're playing on a 64 by 64 player server and some guy you know, just reports, yeah, there are flattened fields over here with, you know, tank tracks inside it, you kind of know where the enemy's moving in terms of his forces, which is definitely cool. It adds detail to the game as well as functionality, which is just absolutely brilliant. Now we can give our tank crew different orders. So for instance, right now we're advancing in line formation. That's fine with me, and I think I'll continue with that. I'm actually going to stop right here and order them to pretty much engage and load HE, because it looks like all of the mechanized targets have been successfully engaged. Looks like we've taken them out, so I'm just going to try to pick off the infantrymen here. There we go. And look for any more targets, because when we are close in with the enemy's infantry, that's when they can actually do some damage to us. So looks like we found a group here. We're a single man, but it's alright. We will engage him. Looks like we actually took some damage on one of the King Tigers, and this is actually because there's a tank still operational here. damage in this game is divided up to different subsystems. So say if we dink the tank on its track, it'll damage the track, and that's about it. It really depends on where we hit the tank and how the game simulates it. That's how we do damage. So as you can see there, I shot the tank in the turret with at this range. It hit it with enough force to actually just kind of break off the turret of that T-34 and eliminate it like that. We're firing 88 rounds at being fired at these T-34, so most of these shots actually went through the front and out into the back through the engine, setting fire to these tanks. So that's kind of cool. Now with our King Tigers, nothing can really go through this. You can kind of see the little dent marks where the enemy tanks tried to hit us. I had a game where, well, it was actually a campaign mission in which the enemy had a T-34 and I was playing as an infantryman. Our team had some Panzerschrecks and 2 rounds went through the hull of the T-34, so I kind of assumed that it was dead and ran across it because I thought, hey, you know, I need to get places fast, and it was the easiest way. And apparently the machine gunner inside the tank actually survived and managed to pretty much just mow me down with the little MG on the front, which at the time I was just like, oh, what the hell? But then I realized that both of the shots went through the turret of the tank. It disabled the main gun and possibly the driver of the tank, but it never actually hit the machine gunner, so he was able to survive and actually engage me later on. Looks like we actually lost a King Tiger to that T-34. So the AI actually tries to have some deception. Infantrymen will actually hide inside villages to try and just throw their AT grenades at us. It looks like finally they're actually retreating now. Killed a sufficient amount of their AI friends to pretty much make them say, oh no, we are gonna run back, but it's a little late for that. And now they get mowed down. And in some of these missions, there are different variations within the same objective. For instance, some of these troops may not actually be here. The next time we play this mission, some of the T-34s may not be here. And if, well, actually, if you noticed on the top right-hand little map thing, we actually suffered some damage to the main gun on this tank. If that turns gray or red, then the gun is fully eliminated and we would lose the main gun on this tank. And that is pretty much also what happens to those T-34s as we shoot them. I suspect the first shot normally takes out their engine, and their additional shots just kind of kill off the crew while it slowly eventually sets on fire. Boom, there we go. So now, right now I can actually give our tanks and troops some more orders. So for instance, I can stop backing up and order our additional troops to move over here. So they'll go and engage T-34s and infantry inside this particular area. Oh, looks like I'll switch to driver's seat because I am not that great in commanding these vehicles, especially when time compression is on. So now while they are doing that, I'm going to move my tank forward up here and take out whatever's up there. But for the moment it looks like we need to deal with that. So I'll switch back into the commander's role, get the AI to pretty much engage that. Actually, I think I'll do it by myself. Now, zoom out, aim at the tank, and fire. Another good hit on that one. Actually took the top off of the tank. Very nice. So now, buildings in this game are actually enterable. You can see that. You can see the internals of the building of this little house to my left right now, and they're also actually destructible. In a moment I'll fire a HE round, but for now I need to engage this tank, because at this range T-34s actually pose a threat to me. So load up the round. Oh. Okay, it actually looks like it managed to take out the main gun on our T-30 on our King Tiger. So there's some of that subsystem damage, managed to knock our gun out of the mount. So now what I'm gonna do is actually, because our armor is so strong on the front, what I think I'm gonna do is that I'm just gonna drive straight up to it, fire a shot, and just hope that I don't hit the ammo catch inside. We have such a sufficient amount of armor that the... Oh, see, you can see the house being destroyed right there. We have so much armor on the front of the tank, it really doesn't matter. However, our crew is being concussed right now. You can see that number 4, squad mate number 4, took some damage. So now it's kind of like a tank brawl. I'm just putting rounds inside his hull, and he's putting rounds inside my hull. Bam! Alright, I think that's sufficient. I'm gonna switch to the machine gunner's seat so that I can just kind of mow down the infantry surrounding us and just kind of clear it like that. Like looking back at it, what happened was that the AI actually kind of moved up. The ground forces actually moved up as I was fighting with T-34, so the AI does do a good job of doing combined operations and things such as that. However, the Russian AT grenades just simply can't get through this much armor. Well, it can, but it has to be very gradual. And this downed aircraft was actually the one that was fighting their aircraft up in the sky earlier. So this isn't just some object that the map maker placed here. This is actually what was a flying aircraft commanded by a APC, NPC. However, it was downed shortly after by what their I'm actually not sure what that is. Probably some Lend-Lease aircraft of sorts. And looks like we've accomplished the mission. Well, I will see you guys next time. Be sure to subscribe and look out for my other preview in which we will show infantry combat. So, goodbye for now, and I will be posting some more Sniper Elite later on Saturday.